I make $100,000 a year and I am broke because I have a spending problem. Y'all, as I grow older and I become more wise, I realize that it's not that I don't make enough, it's that I spend too much. My money mindset is terrible. Mind you, my degree is in finance. I'm just a girl, so I shop, I spend money, I eat out, I get cocktails, you know? But as I start to prioritize being financially literate and having my finances in order, I'm realizing that I really have a problem, and it really starts in my mind. I need to learn to be okay with keeping my money in my accounts. I do pay myself first, so my retirement automatically comes out. I have been paying down my debt, but when it comes to actually being intentional about spending my money properly, I suck at it. So I have the Credit Karma app, and on the Credit Karma app, they have like a cash flow section. And on there, I'm able to see like my money broken down, or my expenses broken down into what my money is going to every month. From there, I've been able to see that my money is going two places, y'all. Food and spending money on shopping and beauty and hair and nails. There are two main tasks that are part of my action plan into bettering my finances. And the first one is to become a DIY queen. And I've started press-ons, y'all. Yes. So that's hair. I got my natural hair going. I don't have no lashes on. And when I do decide to do that, it's clusters, it's half wigs, it's V-part wigs, it's clip-ins, that type of vibe. And lastly, eating out. Your girl has got to start meal prepping, okay? No more just getting food on the fly. I have to plan out what it is that I'm eating, make sure that my grocery list is together, and I'll save so much more money. But yeah, I think I'm gonna keep you guys updated on my journey to bettering my finances. So let's see what happens.
This stuff, I'm gonna tell y'all the bad stuff right now. I'm gonna be real vulnerable. I spend money like I'm on drugs, right? Like it's bad. Like you'll be like, well, where did your money go? It's awful. My last paycheck was a little over $4,000. Do y'all know I was just in a grocery store and I told them I gotta do this in 2 separate transactions. The first transaction was $8 and the second transaction was $22. I don't even have $40 on one card. And my last paycheck was over $4,000. I need rehab for this shit. Like why every time I get $1 I gotta spend it? I don't know what.
I feel like we've reached a crisis when $100,000 is not even enough to live. Like, it's not enough.
Some people feel like making $100K a year just isn't enough anymore. And honestly, I think it depends on where you live, your lifestyle, and your responsibilities. But with the cost of housing, groceries, bills, and everything else going up, a 6-figure salary doesn't always feel like what it used to. So, is $100K really enough to live comfortable today, or are people simply spending more than they can afford? Let's get into the videos. And if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
I don't see a lot of people talking about this, so I want to cover it. $100,000 is not enough money if you are a minority trying to change your life. And I know it feels good once you hit that marker, particularly in corporate, because you have a lot of people out there that are surrounding you that you might be doing better than. And I'll actually expand the range. Let's say that you're making $100K to $300K, right? And you're a minority. Your family is looking at you like, yo, you're the man, or you're the woman. I don't know. But they're looking at you like, yo, you're crushing it. And you're clearly doing better than many other people that came before you. But the problem is that all it takes is one night of sleep to realize that that's not enough money. Because if you want your life to look anything like this, 2 kids, private school, maybe a husband or a wife, right? Maybe you want them to be stay home, gender roles, hey, who knows, right? Then you want a nice car. Maybe you want a nice Porsche 911, right? Maybe you want a little date just. You're trying to get flash, a little bling. All it takes is a night of sleep to realize, holy shit, I'm not making enough money. And the problem is, a lot of us don't realize that early enough. We let the time pass by because we're still on the high of, oh, we have arrived. But we have not actually made enough money to make a meaningful change in the trajectory of our lives. Not at all. We might make enough money to pay the bills, make enough money to maybe save for retirement. Cool, that's awesome, right? We're not gonna starve. But what kind of life is that to lead when your benchmark is eating food, right? Like, okay, cool, we don't starve, but is that really enough? And by the way, I'm not sitting here trying to like push this like, hedonic treadmill on you and tell you, hey, like make more money, capitalism, blah, 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 blah. But I'm speaking to you as an individual trying to understand how you shape your own life and the things that you want. And let's be for real. If we only have one life, right? Let's say this is Super Mario, you got one life. Then you want to be really serious and intentional about it. And just trying to craft your life off that amount of money, if you're able to achieve that, I'm telling you, and I'm trying to save you some time as a 31-year-old, it's not enough. It's not enough. And it's very likely that you are going to have to come up with other ways to create supplemental income. Some ways are more fun than others, but it's better for you to start now than to wait later and realize, holy shit, I've been living at 40% capacity. This is not really my dream life. Just something to think about.
In my opinion, $100,000 a year is not enough. If you have an entire family and you want to really enjoy life, it's not enough. Being a doctor or a lawyer, yeah, that's great, but you're not going to be making enough money to really enjoy life. I realized this when me and my girl were trying to go to an escape room. Without any drinks or food or anything, just the escape room, $200. And we're the type, we want to do fun shit like that every single day. So there's no possible way a regular job can fund the life that we want to live. That's why it amazes me when people have such limiting beliefs, because maybe you're naive or something, but even with that, doctor job, you're not gonna have fun. And on top of that, you're gonna have to work 24-hour shifts. People want to live like that. There's no possible way. That shit is just cope, okay? If you knew another way to be successful and get money, you would do that shit. But on top of that, you just don't believe in yourself. That's why I dropped out of school as a freshman, because I always knew I was meant for more than this stupid ass bullshit. I was always smarter than everyone. I always questioned everything and nothing made sense to me. I went to a business class and the teacher didn't even have a business. What the fuck sense does that make?
$100,000 is no longer enough to feel financially secure in many parts of the country. Great. Cost of living has soared, inflation is rising at a terrifying rate, and wages, of course, are not. And data actually shows that earning $100,000 in a high cost of living city like New York or San Francisco only equates to $35,000 of purchasing power after you adjust for cost of living and taxes. In slightly less expensive cities like DC or LA, this only increases to $45,000. If you make $100,000, you probably can afford to save some money for retirement and cover your basic necessities, have a little fun here and there. But apparently, now we all need to strive for $300,000 to be able to afford the same cushy lifestyle that $100,000 used to buy. Ugh.
6 figures is no longer enough. I don't know how y'all are surviving in the US economy. I don't know how people are making it. For some reason, all of these videos keep popping up on my feed about people losing their jobs and can't sell their house, groceries are too high, they work in 3 jobs and it's still not enough. And it's just like, I don't even search this stuff, but the algorithm must know, like, it's getting hard. It's getting hard for all of us. Even if you make 6 figures, even if you make 100,000, 200,000, like, it's literally not enough, because it seems like everything continues to go up. Everything except our salaries continue to go up. So I just want to know, let's have a conversation in the comment section. Who is doing okay? Who is struggling? Who is at wit's end? Who is like, I'm this close to living out of my car, I'm this close to. And then the thing is, it's a domino effect, because as soon as people get to their wit's end point, to where it's like, I'm willing to do whatever I gotta do to survive, to feed my family. And this is why you have the domino effect of all the violence, all the this and that. It's because everything is trickling down. We literally cannot survive. And if you have not invested, if you don't have any savings, if you don't have any assets, if you've been living paycheck to paycheck before all of this, now you're going into debt, or some people can't even borrow money. Like, we are in literal hard times. If you are not in the United States, let me know where you are and how the economy is for you. But we're in bad times. We're in hard times with the United States economy, the job market. I'm so grateful that I have a job, that I make the money that I do, but none of it is guaranteed. None of it's guaranteed. We could wake up tomorrow and be like, you know, all these people getting laid off back to back. I've seen videos. People were like getting laid off for 4 times in 2 years. It's really bad. How y'all holding up?
Remember when earning $100K a year meant you were doing really well? These days, by the time you cover taxes, housing, groceries, insurance, and everything else, $100K just doesn't seem to go nearly as far as it used to. So I'm curious, do you still consider $100K a year a good salary? And if you're looking for ways to make your money situation a little better, I've got a few of my favorite resources linked in my bio if you want to go check them out now.
I know I'm late to this conversation, but if you can't live on $100,000 in 2026, it is a skill issue. A lot of y'all just don't know responsibility if it slaps you in the face. You don't need to be in the newest building. You don't need to have a brand new car. You don't need to eat out 3 to 5 times a week. You don't even need to be living by yourself. You don't need to go on vacation every year. You don't need to buy everybody presents. You don't need to watch a movie every weekend. You don't need to go out to the club. You don't need to run to Target. Get that item out of your Amazon cart. There are people making do on $30,000 a year in New York City. Do not sit here and tell me that $100,000 is not enough.
You can be living paycheck to paycheck, feeling broke, and struggling at any income level. Trust me, I know. When I was making $30,000 a year, I was broke. I started making $50,000 a year. I was also broke. At this point in my mind, I'm still thinking the income is the problem. So I continue to raise the income. Now I'm up to $80,000. Guess what? Still broke. And it wasn't until I had made $100,000 for a couple years in a row that I realized it was no longer an income problem, it was a me problem. So after the first couple years of being broke, making $100,000, I realized that I needed to make some changes because it wasn't the income that was the problem. You could call it lifestyle inflation, but the more money we make, the more money we spend. And the spending is the problem. That's what keeps us broke at any of these income levels. You'll hear about celebrities, pro athletes, people who win the lottery and they manage to end up broke because they're not managing their money. They're not managing their spending. So yes, increasing your income does help because then you're able to pay down debts a little easier and things like that. But spending is the ultimate problem if you're continuing in that cycle of being broke.
I'm 24 with over $100,000 saved and people ask me all the time, so let's talk about it. First of all, I'm just genuinely cheap and I fully embrace it. I don't get my hair done. I only get trims a few times a year. I don't do lashes or filler. I've done trap Botox a couple of times and loved it, but it's such a hefty spend, so I've left it for now. I love having my nails done like every other girl, but I refuse to spend $100 every few weeks, so that's a special occasions thing for me now. I bought a 2013 cash car back in high school, so I have a 0 car payment. It has well over 150,000 miles on it, cracked leather seats recently. I am driving it until it physically stops moving. I don't really eat fast food. I eat all of my leftovers and I grocery shop for exactly what I need that week. When it comes to clothes, I try to buy secondhand and stick to simple capsule wardrobe pieces rather than trendy things I'll only wear a few times. Same with home decor. I thrift almost everything because furniture and decor is so expensive and you can find pretty good stuff if you're patient. When I travel, I use multiple platforms to find the best deal on flights and hotels, and I put everything on my Amex because the travel rewards are so good. If you're not using a points card, you are leaving money on the table. Cashback is not as good as points. That's it, honestly. Seriously, nothing crazy.
I would say this. I get that it depends on where you started your family situation and your responsibilities. But I feel like some people live way beyond their means, and I'm not judging anyone. This is just based on my own experience and learning that sometimes you have to make better choices with your money. Let me know what you guys think about this topic, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.